So, anything that you need to know about how writers use language and what effect they create by using language, or what is the effect of using any particular language technique, that comes with practice when you have many unseen texts there that you study and solve exercises. Okay? If you keep learning just theoretically, you will not improve. So, basically, you must apply all these methods. Here is a method how to respond to writers' effect questions that we are going to learn today. So there are just few more topics left. So this is our last week with the topic of writers' use of language and its effects. So we will be analyzing different ways how writers use language to create certain effect or to convey certain meanings in their text, whether it's be the narrative text or the factual text. But in O-level English 1, 1, 2, 3 exams, basically you will see that all these type of questions are based on the narrative pieces of text. So Omar has also joined. Hopefully all the students will be with us soon. Let me see who's left now so that we will start today's topic. So you should try to solve more and more activities, take more text, solve them to have a good experience of how to analyze the language of the text and how to explain its effect. So this week classes are going to be very important for you because we are going to end up our topics. That I read the book you recommended. Amar, how great you are. Which book I had recommended? I have forgot about that, which book it was. Can you please tell me? Yes, Amar, can you hear me? So Amar says that he has read the book I recommended. I watched the Dead Poet Society half. That's great. Elizabeth, if you have watched that movie, Dead Poet Society, it's really great. So how was your experience with that? I would recommend you that you should Off Truth. Oh, Amar, that's great. You are a great guy if you have read that essay, Off Truth by Francis Bacon. So read more chapters of that book. They are not actually the chapters, they are actually. Um, oh, Elizabeth, hopefully you would have understood Mr. Keating if you have watched half of the movie. So my all inspiration of teaching comes from that experience. And when I used to teach physically in universities and institutes, I always used to play that movie in the class in great halls of the institutes, and it had a great impact on even our university students. So, especially for O level and IGCSE and A level English students, this movie is an excellent way to boost up your spirit for the subject. All the students must watch it. If you still have not watched it, you should have watched it. All right. Okay, and I'm also happy to hear that Amar has read the book I recommended, and the book was Essays of Francis Bacon, basically. And in those essays of Francis Bacon, the thing that you need to notice and analyze in the use of language is that how everything is so precise there, using fewest possible words. Francis Bacon had written excellently, although the text is 500 years back, 500 years old, but it's still relevant for you. You should learn, and especially if you read the essay of Studies by Francis Bacon, that will be very helpful for all of you. Here is very interesting topic today, responding to writer's effects. So by responding, we mean how to write your answers for this section. Amar says Surtees' book is very philosophical. Amar, you have only studied the first essay. After that seems to be philosophical. If you read more essays, they will be simple, not that much philosophical. If you read off study, the words, the sentences are very short but full of meaning, compact, so precise, pithiness, and writing briefly, but having a lot of meanings in the sentences, what we call epigrammatic styles, like their sentences and word structures actually become a proverb in English, okay, and example sentences to say something basically that we call epigrammatic style. Can you all see my screen? So basically, in this topic, we will learn how to write your answers for question number two in your O-level English 1123 exam. So how you will be analyzing the language in your exams, you will see that there can be one word or two words, there can be a phrase, there can be a full sentence that you need to explain. But how will you basically explain that? Here is a method to explore, to decode, to actually deconstruct, to go deeper and find out the meanings in those texts by using this method. Have you ever cut an onion in the kitchen? Has anybody an experience cutting onions for salad, for some rice dishes, for some other foods? If you have ever tried to cut an onion, you will see layers under layers. So exploring the language is like cutting an onion, where you will find one layer, you remove it, and you find another layer beneath that. Who will read this wonderful method of analyzing the language? So there are few steps. In this, you will actually learn some approaches how you investigate and identify the language techniques and analyzing how writers achieve effects and influence readers. So this week is going to be the last week with question number two, and next week classes will be dedicated to summary writing or question number three, the last section of our reading paper, and then our reading paper preparation will end. So I will request all of you to join the classes on time this week, and please complete all remaining activities that are there in this chapter under any heading. Who would like to read this interesting content? Anyone, please, voluntarily. Abdullah Siddiq, would you like to read these layers? The key strategy, how to explore this onion method. In the first. Yes, Abdullah Siddiqui.
Yes, sir. Two key strategies for considering language association in a piece of writing are the peeling and onion approach and the iceberg method. In the first, you break down process of analysis, analyzing language by thinking of five layers of an onion. As you read, you peel away these layers to explore the meaning in the writer's language. Layer one, the literal meaning of words. Layer two, the strengths and shades of meaning of the words. Layer three, the words, connotations or associations. Layer four, sensory effects. Layer five, emotional effects.
So
For
these are
example,
the five layers, and we will now apply these five layer onion methods. First, you have to look for the literal meaning of the word. So when you are practicing for exams, when you read text A in the reading insert, try to find out the exact meaning of those words from dictionary if you don't know. So the knowing the literal meaning of a word is the key to begin this analyzing the language and its effect. If you don't know the literal meaning of word, how you can go deeper? So this is the first thing you must do. Then at layer two, you will find the strengths and shades of meanings of words. Some words have stronger meanings than others. They are stronger in intensity. Okay, and you most of you would remember that activity we had done. Then words, connotations, and associations like the miserly, thrifty, and economically. You know we had done that. Three words with a slightly different meanings, but representing the same thing. But one word has positive connotation, one has negative, and one has neutral. The fourth, there is sensory effect, whether these words have appeal to our sense of seeing or tasting, or sense of taste, smell, touch, or hear. So the five senses, the things that appeal to our five senses are called sensory effects or details, and how it affects. The fifth thing is emotional effect, if there is any, if the language has been used to express some emotions, what we call emotive use of language. And hopefully, you all remember we had learned that topic. If you still have not, or you missed the class, just read that topic in this book, in this Cambridge book. There is excellent content. Let's now apply this method at this sample sentence. Let's decode it and deconstruct it and analyze it at these five layers. Are you all ready? Yes, Abdullah Wakar, please read this sentence. Yes, Abdullah Wakar, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please read this
Sir,
sentence.
yes, sir.
Please read this sentence in four examples. The example sentence for these five layers.
Layer 1. She spoke loudly and diagonally but did not say anything meaningful. Layer 2.
No, no,
Rang out.
first read the example sentence itself before moving to layer one.
For example, her words rang out
Fine.
defiantly but
Defiantly, that means that when you speak the words, but on the ear of the next person who is hearing has no effect on them. Defiantly, like it's like making you deaf, like too loudly, speaking too loudly. But the sound
the
did
sound
follow.
follow.
Sometimes, people in anger cry too much, saying so many words, angrily crying, but having no effect, having no meaning in their words, okay, but saying things too loudly or like crying. So this is now see the what is the literal meaning? That means she spoke loudly and daringly, but did not say anything meaningful. This is the first layer, very literal meaning of these words. Now let's explore at layer 2. It means rang out. This indicates that she wanted to be heard. Like when we ring something out, it means we want to announce something. So rang out meant she was crying, she wanted to be heard by the people, but hollow indicates the emptiness and lack of any substance in her words or any compact meanings. At layer 3, what was the layer 3? Words, connotations, and associations. Okay, so rang out is associated with bells, which usually indicate celebration or good news, and hollow is a word usually associated with something that looks intact, but on closer inspection, the substance has been removed. Apparently, it seems it's filled with something, but inwardly it's empty. That is the meaning of hollow. There is also a famous poem by T.S. Eliot called The Hollow Man. We are all the hollow man, suggesting unfulfilled expectations. Okay, so layer 4, rang out that appeals to our sense of hearing, indicating clarity and perfect pitch. It is full of promise. Hollow appeals to our sense of sight. An empty shell, like something that's as inside nothing there is inside. So the word hollow appeals to our sense of sight, sense of seeing. The word rang out appeals to our sense of hearing. Okay. Then at layer 5, we go for emotional effects. So at emotional level, here is a contrast between two things. Rang out defiantly means too loud, but sounded hollow. Such a loud voice, but having no impact, having no meaningful talk in it. That engenders the feelings of disappointment as something that is sounded so promising but does not amount to anything, crushing disappointment. Okay, so it is creating extreme disappointment. You say, Father, if you have watched that Poet Society movie, the way Neil Perry stands up and tries to talk to his father and he says, No, my son, I said no. The way someone's emotions are crushed. So that is the emotional effect. So using this method, you can explore better your exam style question. Let me show you now an exam style question to talk about more how you can explore that. Okay.